Christine Faulkner here, Elk Grove's estate planning attorney. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Catching Up with Christine. Today I'm going to talk to you about what our process looks like before you come in and what that feels like to be a client and what we're trying to create for a client experience. Now, you can see that I'm in my office. This is actually our conference room, but we're not really seeing clients here, mostly still seeing clients online in light of COVID, but we're looking forward to the day that we'll be able to actually meet with clients in person. And so here's one of the things that I know about estate planning, and I think what happens for people when they're contemplating the possible need to meet with somebody. Number one, they're really not sure what they need, and they don't even know what they don't know. And that is a really deeply fearful kind of experience for many people. And it really holds them back from picking up the phone or doing any internet research. So I want to point you first to our website. We have a lot of great resources on our website, www.cavafaulkner.com, to get you to get your feet wet and to give you some information about estate planning and why every adult needs to have some kind of plan in place, whether it's incapacity or a full-blown trust plan, to make sure that your family, the people you love the most, and the assets that you've worked really hard for are going to be protected. I get it. It's a daunting thing. Most people don't like to think about the end. I understand that as well. And so we've really created a very robust process for our prospective clients when they first experience our firm, and that includes from the first phone call or first experience on the internet. And so if you're looking for resources, go to our website. I also have a YouTube channel, so go check us out at Cava Faulkner on YouTube, and I have a number of sub-channels within YouTube that will give you information on a variety of different topics. And I'm actually just now embarking on more training, more content, longer videos to help people gain a better understanding of different subjects that they maybe want to know more about. So again, getting back to the fear factor. There is a fear factor with estate planning for many people. Either they're already in a crisis and that's never a good place to be, or they're trying to be proactive and it's a scary and daunting process. So I want to tell you that I was an athlete for many, many years. And one of the things that I remember so vividly is the fact that whenever I had to learn to do something new, it was really scary. And I was uncertain about all of the things that I didn't know. I wasn't certain about my own skill, my own ability to execute or to kind of deal with those unknowns. And so having a coach there to really be my support system, be the person who is my cheerleader, but also gave me the technical background so that I could execute in the way that would best serve me. That is the value of having a coach and a partner. And so I want to say, what we do best is partner and coach our clients. We are the expert, right, to guide you through this process, to give you the information that you need to make really important decisions and to end up with a plan that is perfect. It's the perfect fit for you. And it's going to meet exactly to the T your needs. So I want to say, number one, that is our goal, is to really educate our clients on the fact that we're here for you. We're here to partner with you the entire way through and guide you. And there absolutely is an element of trust here that goes into the attorney-client relationship, or rather a good attorney-client relationship. There has to be trust going both ways, that you trust the lawyer that they know what they're doing and they're steering you in the right direction to create the plan that you need. And you're relying upon their expertise in the field to do that for you. And the lawyer is relying upon you to hold up your end of the bargain, which is to provide the necessary information so that we can partner together and create the perfect plan. So at Cava Faulkner, we hold what's called a family wealth planning session because we are huge believers in education. I don't want clients who don't have an understanding of what they need and why. I really feel like that's the starting point. You have to understand where you are right now before you can understand what that next step could look like for you to solve this problem of not having a plan. And whatever that pain point is for you, maybe you're afraid of what would happen to your assets. Maybe you're fearful that your kids are not going to be okay if something happens to you, or your spouse, or your pets. You can see the background. These are my two children. And I have pictures of them in my conference room because they're my why, in addition to my husband. But these guys right here are the reason that I do what I do. And for many of us who create plans, we are driven to do this because we want to really care for deeply the people that we love the most in our life. And one of the ways of showing our love is creating a really robust plan to make sure that indeed, if something happens to us, if we become incapacitated, there is a plan that can be executed quickly. If we pass away, or when we pass away, that everyone knows their roles, everyone knows what's going to happen, and there's great comfort in that, don't you think? There's great comfort in knowing hey, there's a plan in place, there's a framework, and people are going to jump into action and they know what to do, and people know what to expect as an outcome. So that family well planning session is not some 15-minute consult, free consult. It's a 2-hour working meeting where we are rolling up our sleeves, really getting intimate and familiar about what your situation is, what your experience would be if something happened to you now, and looking at if that's okay for you. If it is, then you're good. If it's not, if you're not where you want to be, then we can help you reach that goal, and we can coach you and partner with you to get you through the process. And so before COVID, I had about a 2-month process from start to finish, and we've really been fortunate to be able to refine and streamline our processes to enable us to execute this a little bit more quickly, to take a little bit less time to go from start to finish. So right now we're looking at anywhere from like a 6 to 7 week time frame from start to finish. So we have that first meeting, which is the family wealth planning session, where you're getting familiar with where you are, the unpleasant consequences perhaps of where you are right now, and looking at a way to fix that. If you're so inclined, we will design a plan for you then in that same meeting, and we are on our way to making sure that you and your family are protected. We have you come back anywhere from two to 3 weeks later, and you sign your plan. And the cool thing is that when you sign your plan, you have a plan. It is done. So within 3 weeks, you have a plan that will work for you if something happens to you. And before you sign, however, we do educate you and go through all of your documents. We have a really cool diagram that we go through with you so that from a conceptual perspective, you understand how your plan works, like the nuts and bolts and all the different moving parts. You can actually see it visually, how it works, and the time frames that apply. My clients really love the flow chart that we create for them because it's so much easier than looking at a bunch of legal terms on a page. We try to do our best to make it as easy as possible and practical for clients to put them in an empowered position to really understand what they've created, what we've created together. So once you sign your plan, we do hang onto your binder for another couple of weeks because we're going to burn it onto a USB, and then we will deliver your binder to your home and have a final meeting with you where we kind of actually leaf through the binder with you, walk you through it now that you have that binder in your hands finally, and show you kind of where everything is located and just what to expect. We're really big on setting expectations here at Cava and Faulkner, always wanting our clients to know exactly what they have, what's going to happen next, to work well together. And so we go through and kind of walk them through the binder, how it's organized, where to find certain documents. And then we talk about different ways that you can make sure that your plan is always going to work in the future, no matter what. Really important to understand that estate planning is kind of like financial planning in that it's not a one and done. It's not something you do one time and never have to think about again. It is something that You need to be aware of changes in your life, changes in your assets, changes in the people in your life. Maybe some people you've named in your plan, maybe they pass away, maybe they become incapacitated themselves. And so that might require or make you feel like you need to make some changes to your plan. So we do reviews with our clients, and we do that at no cost to make sure that your plan is always going to work. And so I talk to clients in that final meeting about different ways that we can continue working together to make sure that they are fully and protected in a very robust fashion going forward. And also, one of the coolest things that we offer to our clients is what's called a family legacy conversation. And that is, well, now we can do it on Zoom. And so we actually can do a video if you like. But before, we used to just do an audio conversation with people to be able to ask them questions about their lives together. If they're married, if they're single, ask questions that are going to be meaningful for the people who come after them. Tell some stories, right? We love hearing stories about people's lives. And we do that in a way that we can memorialize that and make it part of the plan. So there's a recording, an audio, or maybe even a video that your kids can watch in the future, or even that you can share with them now if they're old enough. But if they're not, if you have little kids, that's going to be tucked away in your binder, and they're going to have this very wonderful, loving message from you. So we really love the family legacy conversation for those who like to do it. It's a fun process for us. It's a very warm, touchy-feely part of our planning, and we think it's super important because planning, it's for those people. It's for those people right there. And that touchy-feely part of planning is so important. It really rounds out the planning quite nicely for both the practical, the legal, and the loving part of what you're doing. So that's a little insight into how we work with clients. And if that sounds like something you would like, we are here to serve you. If you're looking for information, we have a variety of resources that we can offer to you. So whatever feels right to you, do it. Go to our website and check it out. We have different resources that we offer that you are welcome to. Reach out to us. We've got a book that we can offer you as well that's very, what's the word? It's really comprehensive because it tells you kind of all of the different scenarios that could potentially come up and the outcomes that are associated with those scenarios. So it's a great resource to get a broad flavor of just why you might need to have some kind of a plan in place. Check out our YouTube channel. We are broadening our horizons here and trying to put out really good quality content. And if you have questions about planning, things that you're wondering about, post them, call us, let us know, and I'll create a video around that for you. And hopefully that will, you'll find value in receiving that education. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you next week on Catching Up with Christine. Take care and enjoy the beautiful Elk Grove, California weather.